What interesting or curious things did you want to know? Adults or children ask a million questions about the world, but our time is precious and we rarely use it to find the answers to why? Why can't we recognize our voice on a recording? It all depends on the ability of human bones to conduct sound. Your interlocutors hear only the sounds of voices that are transmitted through the air. The recording also contains only these sounds. But when we hear our sounds, the low-frequency sounds join the first ones and pass through the bones of the skull. Why does our head hurt when we eat cold food and drink? You may have noticed that when you eat ice cream, your head suddenly hurts, like when you run in the morning and breathe cold air through your mouth. This is due to rapid contraction or dilation of blood vessels in response to cold. The needs of passengers on the plane? Legend has it that human remains fall into the air. This is not true. They are collected in a container that is emptied as soon as the plane lands. Why is the skin tanned in the sun and, on the contrary, the hair turns light in color? In both cases, the sun destroys the pigment melanin, which is responsible for hair and skin color. It seems that hair, unlike skin, is no longer alive. When melanin is destroyed, it does not regenerate and the hair color is lighter. But the skin responds to the sun and the destruction of melanin. It begins to produce it in large quantities, so the skin is tanned. Why does time pass slowly in childhood? Maybe because the baby has more memories. During childhood, we begin to know the world around us. Memory captures more and more information, so in a year we have more memories than an adult. It is also likely that the child does not have much sense of time. For a child, in fact, a week is longer than for an adult. Why doesn't the cold ice freeze? Our eyes do not have receptors sensitive to temperature changes. Also, most of the eye is inside the skull and a large flow of blood carries the heat. Why do we close our eyes while eating a lemon? We certainly inherited this reflex from our ancestors. This mechanism protects the eyes from splashing acidic juice, which can cause irritation. Why is the dust white on a black background and black on a white background? The powder is actually gray. However, due to the small size of the dust particles, we cannot see the exact color and can only perceive it if it is darker or lighter than the background. Why do raccoons wash food? There may be several reasons for this. Rats often find their food near water, so there may be algae or mud. When washed, the animal removes dirt. Another very simple reason, this is how he kills his prey by drowning it. Why do V-shaped birds fly? First of all, because they save energy. The geese in front create turbulence with their wings. And those who fly after them catch this turbulence and thus retain their power. Second, this organization allows the leader to fly to the front line. Why do hedgehogs have an apple on their back? The hedgehog carrying an apple on its back is nothing more than a myth or a typical image from a children's book. Hedgehogs do not eat plant foods. This animal is an insectivore. If he finds a snail on a mushroom, he will eat it immediately and will not sting it with thorns. In addition, it would be physically uncomfortable for him. If you've ever seen a hedgehog with leaves or berries on your back, it means that it fell accidentally and you can't get rid of it because of its thorns. Why does a river make noise, whisper? This sound is produced when air bubbles in the water jet burst and rise to the surface. That's why we hear a variety of noises that make us think that water is muttering. Why do we get dizzy when we travel? This is due to the contradictory information that our organs transmit to the brain. For example, if you are on a boat, your inner ear can detect the movement of the waves, but your eyes do not see the movement. The brain tries to organize all these contradictory signals and in the end we feel dizzy. 3. Why do the hands of the clock move in a certain direction? Before using mechanical watches, I used sundials. The movement was based on the shade of the sun. It moved in the same direction as the sun in the sky, that is, in the northern hemisphere, from left to right. Why is blood drawn from the ring finger? First, the thumb and little finger connect directly to the wrist. So, if an infection occurs later, it can spread to the arm. To do this, it is recommended that you draw blood from the ring, middle or index finger. Also, the ring finger is convenient because the process is less painful. It is the finger we use the least and the skin is thinner. Over time, As this finger moves less, the lesion heals faster. Why do we have goosebumps? It seems that this is an ancient phenomenon that we inherit from animals, which curl their hair. Chills are the result of muscle contraction of the hair follicles. In the animal kingdom, goosebumps help keep the body warm. When a threat occurs, the frightened animal, for example a cat with bare fur and an arched back, appears taller than its rival. People also get chills when they feel cold or in situations that make them feel an emotion. The cause of this reaction is the unconscious release of adrenaline.